Guys, this one is for the family. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your favorite mask collector's favorite mask collector, AJ Good, here at the House of Masks, where we unbox and review cool stuff almost every single day. And in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at a very specific collection of mine. But before we jump into that collection, we've got to kind of set the tone a little bit. So let's try this. That's a little better, right? So, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that this one is for the family, and that could only mean one thing. Today, we are talking swollen teeth. That's right, in today's video, we are going to be taking a deep dive into my swollen teeth collection and showing you guys some of the more unique, one-of-a-kind, and real deal items. I do have a pretty cool little swollen teeth collection here, and I've never really showcased it on YouTube. Now, I don't have an area for swollen teeth stuff, which is probably why you guys have not seen most of the items that I'm about to show off. I truly don't enjoy doing collection videos without having a proper display for the collection. And since I don't have that right now, a lot of this stuff is just scattered all over the building. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about some stuff that isn't going to get a lot of shine in this video, but I think that it's stuff that's important enough to get a mention. That's stuff like posters from various events, Thanksgiving, Pale Fest, the various shows that I did on the For the Family tour with Swollen Teeth. I've got all kinds of stuff like that hung up on the walls out there, but I don't think that it is a big enough deal to stick in this video, especially next to some of the other items that you guys will see later on. I also don't think that it's a big deal to include my merch. Now, obviously, we've got the t-shirts, we've got the long sleeves, we've got the hoodies, I've got a hat somewhere. I have all kinds of official Swollen Teeth merch, but again, I just don't feel like that really deserves a place in this video amongst some of the other stuff. Now, if there's interest, and maybe a little later on after I have a proper Swollen Teeth section here at the building, I might end up doing another update video because I'm sure by that point I will have acquired more anyways, and we can do an even deeper dive and I can show you guys more official stuff like that and more stuff like this. Now, I originally wasn't going to include these in the video at all, but I feel like they are definitely worth a shout out, and these are just two Swollen Teeth inspired masks. Now, the first one here is a piece that my dad did up after Pale Fest last year. He was definitely feeling inspired by Swollen Teeth, and he wanted to make me a custom Swollen Teeth mask, so he did this one up on one of my death masks. I absolutely love this thing. Both aesthetically and sentimentally, this is a very special piece because it came from my dad, and it really does truly look super, super rad. So maybe the next time that I do guest vocals with Swollen Teeth, I will rock this thing. Maybe not. Who knows? Because we've also got this guy, and this is one of the official AJ Good Distortions Unlimited masks that I converted myself not too long ago. I believe that this was the first video that we did for the Enemies Level channel membership tier, and I did a full-on conversion video on this, and I talked about the inspiration, and it's a really cool video, to be honest. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, make sure to head over to the enemy tier on the channel membership section of this channel and sign up. It really helps the channel, and you guys will get access to all kinds of videos that you won't find anywhere else, including the Swollen Teeth conversion video here. So I did just want to touch on those masks real briefly, but since they are not directly affiliated with the band, since they're not real deal items or anything that truly has to do with Swollen Teeth, I don't want to spend too much time on them. They are just Swollen Teeth inspired at best, and I don't really feel like that kind of stuff belongs in this video. And that's because, well, I guess you're about to see. So let's go ahead and hop on into it. Now, again, we've got some very unique, interesting items. For instance, the first item that I'll show you guys is this marker. And as you can see right there, we've got the horns down on the marker. So the story behind this Sharpie is that when we did Thanksgiving, and for anybody that doesn't know, Thanksgiving was a concert that me and Sid threw back in November of 2022. He hit me up and he was like, hey, we should do a show. I want some sort of like local hardcore show. I want a small venue. I want it packed out. I want it sold out. And I want this to be Swollen Teeth's real, true first live show. I want it to be their debut, and I want to do it right. And I was all for it. Now, I had no idea what I was doing, but the 2 weeks that Sid gave me to put that thing together, I really put it together, and I think that we had a smash success of a show. It was completely sold out, and we kept sneaking people in, so it was super, super rad. It was absolutely everything that we wanted it to be, and I think that it was a great, proper debut for Swollen Teeth. And I know that maybe a couple weeks before that, they played like some shithole garage in Maine or some state that nobody cares about, but nobody really counts that, so I think that Thanksgiving was the proper introduction for Swollen Teeth to the general public, and it was just absolutely incredible. And after the show, we actually did a full-fledged signing with all of the bands, as well as myself and Sid, right here at the House of Masks in this very room. And as I was cleaning up from that signing a few days later, I found this in Mega's seat, and it is a Sharpie that he signed with the horns down for whatever reason. Like, that's how weird Mega is. He was using a Sharpie to sign another Sharpie, and then he left it here for somebody to find, and that somebody just happened to be me.
Who, me?
No, not you, you fucking pleb. The squeaky little boy.
With what? Who, me?
No, not you, you fucking dick. No, yeah, the 6-year-old. What's your gamer's name?
Who, me?
Oh, God, for sake.
But yeah, the joke is on Mega, because I thought this thing was cool enough to keep around, and now it's just a part of the Swollen Teeth collection. So shout out to Sid, shout out to Mega, shout out to Thanksgiving. And speaking of Thanksgiving, we've got another pretty special item right here. What we have is the laminates for Thanksgiving. These are the laminates that we had made for the bands and the staff that were working that event. But yeah, this is the actual pass that I used for Thanksgiving. You can tell because this one still has blood stains on it. I don't know if you guys can see any of that sticky theatrical blood, but there is definitely some blood on there. That was actually the first show that I ever did the blood spit technique thing for my mask. And that's really when that mask started to change and stuff. And I actually kept doing that blood splatter technique for a long time. I think I stopped doing it at PaleFest last year. So I did it at all the other Swollen Teeth shows, which we'll talk about in a second. But it all started right there. And there's still sticky theatrical blood on this pass, which is pretty cool. Now, let's talk about the lanyard. Again, it has blood on it. This was actually given to me by Swollen Teeth's team when they showed up. Their crew showed up at Thanksgiving that day and started setting up, and they pulled me to the side and they were like, hey, take one of these. This is essentially our laminate, so if you need to gain access anywhere, as long as you have this on you, you'll be good to go. So if I needed to link up with the band before or after the show, if I needed to get into a green room, if I needed to talk to the crew, as long as I had this lanyard, I was good to go. And that brings us to the For the Family Tour laminate. This was given to me at one of the shows that we did with Swollen Teeth on the For the Family Tour. I think we did the Michigan show first, so this would have been given to me at the Michigan show. Again, it is stained with blood, as we were still doing the blood spitting thing. And yeah, it's got all the dates on the back. I did the Michigan show with them, which was the first show of that tour, and then I came back and I hosted the Cincinnati, Ohio show down at the Madison Live, which I've actually been to that venue a few times now, doing some cool stuff. So yeah, these are definitely some of the most special items in my Swollen Teeth collection. They're just very sentimental, and every time I see them, I get proud because I was able to go out and do cool stuff with one of my favorite up-and-coming bands, and that's exactly what these represent. I immediately get all of the memories from those shows, all of the good times, and these get to hang right at the foot of my bedroom. So right before I go to bed every night, I pass these and I get to look at them, and they're just very special. So these items fucking rule. So yeah, without a doubt, some of my favorite Swollen Teeth items there. Now, let's talk about the For the Family Tour a little bit more, because I have a stage-used Scutchy Scutch drumstick here. I actually saw that he broke this up in Michigan on the first show of the For the Family Tour, and I ran up there and grabbed it after the set. And I don't even know if Scutch knows that I have this, but Scutch, I stole a drumstick, dude, so we're gonna have him sign this or do something else with it, because there's no markings or even face paint or anything on this, so there's nothing that really says that this is a Swollen Teeth item, so I'll just have to have Scutch make this officially official the next time I see him. But yeah, have to throw that in there. I should probably get a display for that soon. And speaking of stage-used instruments, if you will.
I don't know. I'll call Grizz and get the address.
All right, I think it closes in like...
He's going to be at the same place or what?
Yeah, he said the post office closes in 15 minutes, so...
Oh, shit. Okay. Give me 1 minute.
All right.
All right.
Bye. What kind of collector would I be if I didn't have a stage-used swollen teeth pick? Now, I don't know who this came from. I don't know if Son uses these when he plays bass, or if Hog uses these for his guitar, or if both of them use the exact same pick. I don't know. I don't even know how I got this. I don't know where this came from. It just kind of showed up one day. But I love picks, and I specifically love the swollen teeth picks, so we've got to include that in there. And that brings us to another instrument, if you will. This is one of the most unique items in my collection. It's very, very bizarre. What we have here is the mini machete. This is the swollen teeth mini machete, and this was actually made out of a piece of broken cymbal that broke while Swollen Teeth were recording their first record out at Sid's studio, and Mega saved this for me for some reason. He shivved it, he made a little shank out of this thing, he wrote the Swollen Teeth horns down on there, and then he wrapped the end as the handle with some of the actual tape used on their masks. It's a very specific tape. Now, I don't know if this came off of a mask or if this just came from the same roll that he used to wrap those masks. But regardless, what an interesting item. Am I right? I mean, dude, he literally came up to me at PaleFest this year after they did their show. They did the headlining set. We got everybody out of the building and we were all just kind of kicking it. And he was like, oh, I brought something for you. And he goes out to the van and he comes back literally running through the venue with this thing. And it is what it is. I mean, he explained what it was, and I'm like, dude, that's one of the coolest things I think I've ever been gifted, and it's so fucking weird. Just a very interesting item, and also, you could definitely get hurt on this. It is no joke. It's very, very sharp. So, the Mini Mega Machete, one of the most unique items in my collection. And speaking of something that is unique for me, we've got something that might not be super, super unique to you guys, and that is the Swollen Teeth record on vinyl. And the reason that this is so unique to me, I actually opened it just for this video so that I could take out the booklet here. So, we've got the booklet on the inside, obviously nothing crazy, just the Swollen Teeth booklet. We've got all the songs and their lyrics. But then on the back side here, we've got a special thanks section. So we've got all the homies. We've got Soul, we've got Null, we've got Doctor, etc. And if you read long enough, you'll find a name that you might recognize, and that name is AJ Good. And I had no idea that that special thanks was in this booklet until someone told me at PaleFest. They actually brought this up to me, and they were like, hey, can you sign on your name? And I was like, what?
What?
And they were like, yeah, you're in the special thanks. And I was like, what?
Thank you very much, you son of a bitch!
So that caught me by surprise. I was pretty stoked about that. Just something super special, man. Like, I've been pushing Swollen Teeth since the beginning. I've been very, very stoked to work with those guys and get them out there, and I really do truly believe in them. And that right there felt like the ultimate thank you, and I just can't believe it still to this day. They are definitely one of my favorite up-and-coming bands, and I will always be there to push them, and I really do think that they are the next big thing. So to see that and to not even know that they did it until somebody randomly told me is very, very crazy. So definitely have to include the actual Swollen Teeth vinyl record there. That is super, super rad and might be the most special item next to the actual most special item. So, are you guys ready to end this thing? The last item in my Swollen Teeth collection is an item that you guys have most likely seen if you've seen any of the PaleFest footage or if you follow me on Instagram, and that item is definitely the most special because it's the most legit.
That was legitness. Yeah, it was.
Definitely one of the most unique items, definitely a one-of-a-kind. This is the only non-Swollen Teeth member mask that has been officially Swollen Teethed by Swollen Teeth, if that makes any sense. So, last year, there was a point where I was doing a lot of shows with Swollen Teeth, and every time I did a show with them, I got to come up on stage and do guest vocals for a song. As that was happening, people were really bothered by the fact that I was having to take my mask up to do those vocals, so I got the idea to just send one of my death masks with Mega and have him give it the Swollen Teeth treatment. I was like, yo, we're obviously not slowing down here at all. I'm going to be doing guest vocals again, most likely sooner than later. So how do you feel about making me an honorary Swollen Teeth member and giving me a proper Swollen Teeth mask? And it only made sense to do it on one of my death masks because that is what I wear. So this is the AJ Good Swollen Teeth death mask, and this was actually used in concert on stage at the last Swollen Teeth gig that we did at Palefest, and what a time that was. I got to do all the cool shit. I got to do guest vocals for Lethal. Definitely my favorite song, and then I got to crowd surf at the end of the show, and Sid recorded the stage dive. Like, how full circle is that? I grew up thinking that stage diving and crowd surfing were cool because I got to watch Sid do it for my entire life. And to have that guy come to my show and record me stage diving to his band is like the coolest shit that you could ever imagine. It's just like completely full circle, just like all the cool shit is here at the House of Masks, and it all took place in this mask. So definitely a special piece, definitely probably my favorite piece. I would say that these two right here, these two as a set, are the most special and definitely the ones that I would save if there was a fire. And this one would be okay because it's metal, and that's definitely one of the most unique ones as well. But yeah, dude, there is my Swollen Teeth collection in depth. The unique items, the real deal items, the rare stuff, the one of a kind. There you have it. Now, I really, truly believe in Swollen Teeth, so if you have not checked them out yet, make sure to go do so. I promise you won't be disappointed, and if you are, it's probably because you suck. I do see people talking shit about Swollen Teeth all the time, and it makes me laugh every single time because the people that are saying bad things about Swollen Teeth are saying the exact same things that we heard 25 years ago when Slipknot was on the rise. It's always the same thing, and I just find that very telling. I'm not a future teller, but I do believe that these guys are the next big thing, and I've said that from the beginning, so make sure to keep your eyes peeled. So, with all of that out of the way, I'm obviously going to leave you guys with some nice sweeping shots of all of these pieces so that you can see all of the detail up close, and that will be that until I get a proper section to display all of this stuff. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I really hope that you have enjoyed this video. And until next time, this has been AJ Good here at the House of Masks, telling you to say no to drugs and alcohol, and yes to Swollen Teeth, and we will see you guys in the next one.